Go ahead, Eric. Say hi. Hello, guys.
Are we live?
We are live. He said take off.
Well, when we see
You don't see the screen, but we're live.
I thought I was waiting for the music.
I'm playing it.
Are we going to hear the music?
Yeah.
Oh! Is there a video up there? Oh, snaps.
Okay.
How do we see our
Can
video?
we see our video?
Can we see it? At least so we can see how we look.
Okay.
Let me get on this YouTube channel real
I
quick.
think I ruined the intro.
That was really funny right there. Oh,
Okay,
okay, there you go. Okay, I want to see how many people start getting on. That's the main thing.
Okay. Can we try that again?
No.
Okay, live.
Yeah, we're live.
Right
Okay,
here.
you can't roll the music again?
Nope, that's
Man.
19 hours.
Well, right now we're just waiting right here for the viewers, but we can start
we're
talking.
here.
Yeah, we can start talking about what we're getting into, man. Oh, we got
Okay.
19 viewers right now.
Okay,
This
there we
is
go.
awesome.
Holy shit.
All right, and
All right, so I missed the intro music.
Because we didn't hear it.
Yeah, we didn't hear it. We thought we were supposed. We thought we were supposed to hear it, but apparently not.
Did anyone?
So let me do the intro here. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today, this is our first installment of our podcast. And so I've got a few special guests with me. Today we have Oz with Oz Mechanics.
Hey.
And we have San, who owns various different businesses. So
Hey.
I know a lot of I know a lot of you guys know this guy next to me. A lot of you might not know the guy on the other side of the table.
Hey,
there.
no one knows me.
But we are going to introduce you guys, and they've got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. So we'll start off by introducing ourselves. I mean, you guys know who I am. I'm Eric with Advanced Level Automotive. And over here, let Oz introduce himself.
Oz from Oz Mechanics, and we have San right here, and I'm pretty sure y'all remember him. He was actually in one of my podcasts a while back, and it was pretty fun. But I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What's going on, guys? It's an honor to be on Eric's channel and back again with Oz. My name is San. I am the owner of Lake Conroe Automotive. That's here in Conroe, Texas. And that's pretty much it about me right now.
And before we get it started, I do want to throw something out again. On my channel, we actually had a little fun thing going on. Can someone guess what ethnicity he is by the end of the video? I'm waiting for this because last time no one could figure it out. Actually, close to the end. If someone figures it out.
Did you say ethnicity?
Or what?
Oh, okay. What ethnicity you
Yeah.
are? Okay.
Yeah, and they couldn't. Man, I was like, damn, did I say it right?
Somebody got it right already.
What? No one got it right. No one even
Who?
put it on.
I
there.
know. Somebody
Okay.
will get it right. Bam!
Cambodian?
Done.
Well, no, that's not fair. He was on it last time.
Done. Okay,
Okay.
give Billy a prize.
Wait,
Hey,
wait. You mean
He's Hmong. No, nope, not Hmong here. I am not Mopey. So, somebody,
wait. You mean you're not Mexican?
No.
Dude, that's the funny
No.
thing. No, and the funny thing is, like last time we actually we brought the sombrero. He put it on. Boy, I'm telling you, it was just hand to hand right there.
No, Billy got it right already. I'm
No, but I'll tell you
Cambodian.
this: he's a subscriber to both of our channels, and if I'm not mistaken, he was at our podcast last time, and that's how he got it.
So,
Hey, but still, man, good
Okay.
memory.
Yeah, that's good.
I will give him that. I forgot what ethnicity you were, to be quite honest, and
was
I
it?
talk to you frequently. So
you're such a liar.
I'm being serious.
What's Hondurino?
That's Honduran.
Oh, Honduran.
yeah,
Yeah. That's more like Central America.
what's a suksabia? Suksabia.
Soksabai. Oh, Soksabai. That's, how are you doing? Like, hi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, hola.
Is that like Spanish or it's
No, it's Khmer.
Khmer,
Yeah,
okay.
Cambodian language.
So what,
Damn, you got some diverse crowd here.
Oh yeah, we've got viewers from all over the world. I mean, every time I see this, it amazes me how people from all over the world somehow find my channel. And for me, it's a blessing because I feel like I'm able to help people from all over the world really, kind of up their game when it comes to diagnostics. And so that's really my whole goal with this channel. As far as this podcast, we're just here to kind of talk, about automotive.
Can we cuss?
No, this is a PG-13.
Hey, Eric, you see what Juan said? Tell him it's not water, dude.
What's that?
Estos güeyes están tomando cerveza y Eric solo agua.
Yeah, I'm drinking water today, guys.
Well, no, that's
I
not
got
water, dude.
coffee.
That's straight
I got
coffee, dude.
no, I'm not gonna lie. I got water and I got coffee, and I'm gonna need it for these guys because they got more energy than I do.
Well, right now we are drinking. This is a cup of Joe right here. All right. So, and thank you for the thank you for the congratulations. Yeah.
What's the parking lot win?
Yeah. Man, if no one knows about it, I bought a shop. Finally, I bought a shop.
So you were in a dispute with the city
Yes,
of
man.
Pasadena, right?
Yeah, I've been renting out a couple locations for almost 10 years now, and finally I made the leap to get my own location.
To buy your own.
Yeah, to buy my own location.
Buy your own property, yeah.
And whenever I went to the city to get my paperwork done, they denied me because they wanted 28 parking spots.
Wow.
28 parking spots
28.
for one man shop.
How long has it been?
Man, it's been.
Wait. Let me ask a quick question, because you have a shop, right?
I do.
How many bays is your shop?
3.
3 bay. How many parking spots do you have in your shop?
I have no idea.
Would you say it's 28?
No, not at all.
Half of that?
I would say, yeah, way less.
Probably half.
And
of
he
that.
has workers too.
Yeah.
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 But on my end, yeah, in Leto's Law, he had me on this channel too. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah,
That's crazy that they're asking you to have 28 parking spots.
it's insane, man. But luckily, I had a good group of people that helped me out, and
Yeah,
know.
so you were on TV and all that, man. I saw you on
Dude,
the news.
he's famous.
Yeah,
He's famous.
You're famous because of
KHOU.
that.
Hey, look who's watching right now,
South
dude.
Main Auto.
South Main Auto, Eric, good man right there.
Oh, but they had you on the Spanish channel too.
Dude, I was
No
on.
way.
Dude, I was on Telemundo, man.
Yeah.
I was on Telemundo. I was ABC 13.
Sometimes that's what it takes to, like, open your eyes and ears
Yeah,
up.
get the word out.
Yep, because they're always trying to keep the little man down. When you try to do better for yourself and for your family, they're always trying to find a way to not let you progress. And to have 28 parking spot for your building is ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Now, do you think this is a thing that, like, where the city is trying to, like, weed out the mechanic shops, or are they, trying to only have a certain type of business there? Because
what?
I'll be honest, when I first was trying to find a shop and I was looking for a place to rent, it was actually really difficult to find anyone, like, in a business plaza that would accept a mechanic shop. And so they would either tell me they already have a mechanic shop, or as soon as I told them I was a mechanic and I was opening up a mechanic shop, they would say, oh, no, we're not taking any of those. And I asked one lady who was, she gave me some more info on it. She said basically it's because we don't want a bunch of cars parked outside.
Yeah.
And, I guess it's more of an image thing. So do you think that this was kind of the city of Pasadena's way of, pushing mechanic shops out?
It's just not mechanic shops. The ordinances that they had right there, they're for other businesses, which were applying crazy parking restrictions.
So this doesn't only affect mechanic shops then?
Yeah.
Because the shop that was there before you bought it, was it a mechanic shop?
It was actually a machine shop.
It was a machine shop. Okay.
But that's funny because they treated a machine shop. Basically, their argument there is that they're not in the same family. What do y'all think?
Let's ask the viewers.
Yeah, what do y'all think? To me, when I went to go look for a location, I didn't look for ice cream parlor. I didn't try to look for a Taco Bell looking location. I tried to look for a place that had bays and looked like a mechanic shop, and that's what I found, and that's why I went for that location.
So did this place have lifts already built into it, and were they actively removing engines from cars, or like the machine shop that I deal with, Westside Performance here in Houston, Texas? Awesome machine shop. If you guys need any machining work done, those
How
guys
backed
are
up
amazing.
are they?
But they essentially only take in motors and cylinder heads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they don't actually have vehicles there. And they don't have mechanics pulling engines out of vehicles.
And leaving cars there, yeah.
Yeah, so there's no cars parked outside really. The parking lot's empty.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
my argument with that is the discretion of the shop if they want to take the vehicles.
Yeah.
That was my argument there because
And I think one of your other arguments that you mentioned was that I think you were trying to kind of position yourself as more of a electronic diagnostic shop, not so much a normal, mechanic.
But it would still be under automotive.
R&R kind of guy, you know what I mean?
yeah. So when the vehicle comes to my shop, I'm gonna diagnose it. If it comes down to fixing up the heads or changing out an engine or doing labor intensive inner works of the engine or transmission, I don't do that anymore. I send it off to another location. I will diagnose the vehicle and then from there, figure out what we're gonna do.
I do want to point out this comment from Abraham 420. He says, "The guy in the back wave."
Okay. So
The
Dick,
back wave.
Dick,
Dick.
they want you to.
there.
I don't know if you can. Okay, I'm still looking at this camera, so it's all
Yeah.
completely.
I don't
off.
know what camera I'm looking at.
So I want to ask Eric from South Main Auto a quick question.
Eric O.
Yeah, Eric O. So how is it over there in New York, man? Do you have any issues over there? Do they have a lot of restrictions? I know you're kind of and not closer to the bigger cities. So how is it over there? I know where we're at. And especially, I've been talking to other people from like New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and they have, man, their restrictions are crazy nuts, man.
So it's more strict than here?
Yeah.
I remember having a phone call.
Wow.
Man, this was a couple years back. We were on a three-way call. Was it with Keith? And he mentioned to me when he was in New York that even though he was doing mobile diagnostics,
You have to get a certificate.
he still had to have a physical location.
Yeah.
A mobile diagnostic.
Yeah, so he was strictly doing mobile diagnostics where he would go, to shops and car lots, kind of like what I do, and
Okay.
he would, either diagnose or do programming, and that was his, his active thing is he was going to the shops, so he was mobile. However, wherever he was located, they required him to have a physical location, so he had to have, I don't know if he had a garage or a building or what he had. I just remember him talking about that.
He did say as well that he needed like a certain certificate for
Yeah,
mobile
and some
work.
type of certificate. Yeah. So here in Texas, I mean, you really don't need any kind of
You don't.
certificate
Not at all, not to
work
open a
on
shop
vehicles.
up.
Yeah, I've heard that in California, you have to have like a certificate in order to
Yeah, same thing in Michigan.
to be a mechanic to
Yeah,
work on cars.
You actually have to have a license.
Even if you're a mobile mechanic, and so we don't have any of that here in Texas.
Not at all.
Anyone can be a mechanic here.
There you go. He said, I live in.
No restrictions or park. 0% restrictions on parking.
Said, damn. Lots of
Well,
environment.
yeah,
type
he's
laws.
in like, dude, he's far away from the big cities, man. Compared to where we're at.
How big is the building? How many square feet?
My location is 2,700 square feet.
And for each.
It's 27.
That's a good
2750.
size.
Yeah, 2750.
So how much of it is actually office space versus the warehouse space?
Oh man, it's a 2-bay garage.
Is it
It's a two-bay
because
garage?
it's covered under a roof, right? For every
Yeah.
200 square feet,
Every 100 square feet,
every 100 square feet is how many parking spots?
one parking spot.
You know what? And I will say, I haven't seen, I guess I'm trying to think. I have seen pictures of the building. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But I will say that you choosing like a 2-bay garage setup is way better than the one garage door that you had before. Because I had that before when I had my shop. And having just one big garage door really affected the way the flow of cars coming in and out of the shop. Because what would happen is that all the cars come in from the same door and they all come out of the same door. And so, I would have a car inside the shop that, it was a small job and maybe we were waiting on parts, something like some brakes. And then we had this other vehicle that, it needed, a full like suspension job or maybe a timing chain, but we couldn't start on that vehicle because if we pulled it in and started taking it apart, we wouldn't be able to pull the car out that's in front of it and so we would put projects aside because of the way the shop is arranged. So, I mean, having 2 bay doors is nice because you drive in and you can drive out, and the cars are right next to each other. And so,
And I just want to ask you something, Eric. So beforehand, you owned a shop, and now what do
Yeah,
you? So what do you do now? Like tell the.
I mean, I owned a
tell the
shop for
viewers.
5 years, and it wasn't easy. When I started, I bootstrapped it, and so I just kind of started with very little money, and I hit the ground running, and I did that for 5 years, and I basically transitioned out of that, and now I'm doing mobile
So before you had your own
diagnostics.
shop,
And
were you mobile before, or did you work at a shop?
well, for a period I was, because actually, well, if I go back, like when I first started working at a shop, I was working with my father-in-law, and I was in high school, and so I worked with him for years before he passed away, and then after that, I
Shout out to your father-in-law. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
So he got you
appreciate
into
it.
automotive, right?
Yeah, he got me into automotive. Yeah, he taught me a lot, and he was really good with electrical, and so I learned a lot from him, even though he was an a-hole, and he yelled at me all the time, and so.
Was it a flashlight?
Dude.
Was it the flashlight?
Yes, man. I had the flash. Everyone has the same flashlight story.
Yo.
Bro, like I still remember it to this day because I always talk to my
do
brother-in-law
PTSD.
about it. I'm like, dude, I remember holding the flashlight for him, and he was like,
Were you
"If you're-"
shaking?
He's
Hold
like,
on,
if
let
you're
me
gonna hold
ask-
the flashlight, you better hold it right.
That's right.
And I was like, dude, how do you want me to hold the flashlight? Like, I'm holding the flashlight.
To everyone that's viewing in, do you guys have a flashlight story also?
Well,
Bro,
I think that comes from having that kind of mentor. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes mentors that teach you a lot, they kind of, they don't baby you. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what he did with me, is that he was a real a-hole, and so he treated me like crap. But I learned a lot from him, and I'm always, I'm grateful for what I learned when I worked with him. But like I said, after he passed away, we kind of had the shop going for a little while, but then my mother-in-law ended up selling it off, and then I kind of jumped from shop to shop, and then I ended up at the dealership, and I was there for a few years.
What dealership was that?
I don't want to say what dealership.
Company. Yeah.
oh my God,
Basically,
the
I worked for
flashlight
Nissan.
PTSD.
Yeah, I worked for Nissan, and
Okay.
so the dealership is a whole nother world when it comes to like the industry and working as a mechanic, like versus working in an independent shop. When you work in a dealership, it's a whole nother world, and so
So you're trying to tell me you went from working somewhere
Family
as
owned
basically
business.
like apprentice to dealership
yeah,
to owning your own shop
yeah,
to now a mobile mechanic
yeah.
and a YouTube sensation. So
I don't know if I'm a sensation, but
all right, but let's just say you've done all those different kind of areas in the automotive field.
Each one of those areas, which one you love the most?
Yeah, which one do you love the most? What was the one that you hated the most? Give us an insight in that, because I'm pretty sure everyone watching here, they're working in one of those fields right there. They're probably at the dealership. They're probably apprentice. They probably own their own shop, or they're doing the mobile.
Yeah.
The mobile diag.
well, first of all, I love what I do now. Like, I love what I'm doing because,
YouTubing or
well,
mobile.
because what I do is a combination of the both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it works hand in hand. I can't do one without the other. Well, it depends, because I don't film everything, and a lot of the stuff that I do film, to me, it just doesn't make the cut. You know what I mean? So I don't post it on the channel, or, if I don't think that it's good enough quality to put it on the channel, then I won't. But yeah, what I do now, I love. Now, as far as what I hated, the dealership. And that's because there was a lot of shady stuff that went on there, and I did a lot of things that I don't want to talk about here.
Well,
Was it
the-
because they're so strict and
Well,
micromanage?
look, the thing is that because when I was at an independent shop, man, I was being paid hourly,
yeah.
And so when I went to the dealership, that's when I got into the world of flat rate.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got into flat rate, man, it's completely different. There were days where we didn't make any money, You know, like there were days I was just sitting on my hands, and I mean, when I first started at the dealership,
But what were you at the dealership? Were you the lube tech?
I was
or
a technician.
technician.
Yeah, I started as a technician. The problem with the dealership is that it's a lot of politics, and so you got to get to be buddies with the service writer or the team leader, you know, because they're the guys that feed you the work. You know what I'm saying? And so when things are supposed to be evenly distributed, they're really not, man. There's a lot of favoritism, and so a lot of the gravy work, what we call gravy work, which is like brakes, suspension, stuff like that, you know, certain guys would get fed the gravy work, and then when it came to, you know, the stuff that took more time, or if it was warranty work, because a lot of the warranty work, you know, doesn't pay as much as some like a customer that's paying cash, you know, for their repair.
Yeah.
So like if you look at the labor time,
Mitchell too. It shows it right there. Warranty and
if you look at the labor time, you know, if you look at the labor guide, and you'll see that doing this job, let's say this transmission calls for 7 hours, and then you look at the warranty time, it calls for 5. You know what I mean? So
have you noticed that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, and so that's how it was at the dealership. Is that, you know, I basically, when you go in there, it doesn't matter how much you know, you start at the bottom, and you have to make friends with the people there. And so, man, I remember when I first started there, and like I said, there were days that I didn't have any work. I had like one car and I was waiting on parts or something like that, you know. And I'll be honest, like there was one day I sat in my car during lunch and I cried. Cause at the time I had my daughter, my wife was pregnant. She was going to have my daughter, and I had just started working at the dealership. I thought it was going to be like, oh man, I'm gonna start making money at the dealer, like
Provide for your family.
you know what I'm
and
saying?
stuff.
And we had just got into another house, you know, because we were having the baby, so we needed more room. And when I realized what the reality was, is that you don't make anything there unless you're, like I said, you get to know the guys and they start feeding you the work. You know what I'm saying? Then because at that shop, man, it was like 20 technicians. You know, it was a big shop, yeah. And so it was like a 10-bay shop.
Let me
Well, it
ask
was
you
10
this.
bays, but it was like 20
At the
20
dealership,
lifts.
do you prefer gravy work?
Yeah, so here
That's where you make most
so,
of
so
the
Yeah,
money.
that's what I
here's
was
the
gonna
thing.
say. I was
Here's
like-
the thing, man, is that the problem is that I love diagnostics. And so what ended up happening is that I became the troubleshooting guy.
But they don't pay enough for that.
That's where the problem comes in. And so they were giving me all of the hard stuff. And actually other technicians, that when they had a car and they couldn't figure out what it was, they would give it to me. And so all of the diagnostic work was coming to me. But the problem is that it's hard, you know, when you're chasing a broken wire behind a dash or something like that, and you spend all day on that. You know what I'm saying?
But you get paid for that time, right?
No.
Not at the
No,
dealership?
man. No. So look, and a lot of this is not even warranty work. So, you know, sometimes, you know, how are you going to tell the customer, hey, you know, we got to charge you 8 hours worth of labor because the guy spent all day on it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I wasn't making, you know,
You wasn't making it 8 hours.
No, I wouldn't get paid what the amount of time that I was putting into troubleshooting the cars.
How much would they
And
normally
so-
give you? Like 1-2 hours on that?
Yeah, you know, what they would do a lot of times is they would pre-sell, like, you know, they would tell the customer, like, oh, you know, we're going to need you to agree to paying for 5 hours before we can even start with the car, you know. And because they, like, if a customer brought it in and they were like, oh, it's been at 2 other shops, and they can't figure out what's wrong, and they're telling me to bring it to the dealership. Well, the service writer, you know, right off the bat, he's like, okay, we'll look at it, but you have to agree to at least 5 hours of diag time, you know. And in at the dealer rate, that's a lot of money.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And so,
What would you consider? I've been hearing that sometimes in dealerships, and tell me if this is wrong or what. When you diagnose a vehicle, do they sometimes say, hey, we have another vehicle there, pull the part out and just try it out real quick?
yeah, that was the awesome thing about working at the dealer, is that you're always working on the same cars, and then you see the same problems over and over again. So, you can, for the stuff that's typical, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like the stuff that's not typical and that you won't find in bulletins, it's a pinched wire under the seat or something like that, yeah, the troubleshooting is more involved. But for the most part, a lot of the stuff that came in was, those reoccurring faults that you see all the time. And then we had a lot of extra cars, on the lot that we could pull parts off of and, plug in that mass airflow sensor just to see if it fixes the problem.
Yeah.
You really can't do that when you're at an independent shop because, you don't always have another one of the same car there for you to pull a part off of, just to try it out. But
What like Freedom 19er, he said, now that you're working mobile, you'd see different vehicles, man. You're not just working on the Nissan right now. You have Nissan, Ford, Chevy, Dodge. You can do BMW, Audi. Yeah. It's kind of crazy and then that's what I want to get to now. So you went from the dealership to owning your own shop. Once you got to owning your own shop, how was that transition, man? From, okay, now I'm working for someone, but now I'm the boss and I'm taking all this workload and I'm taking all this stress. How was that, man?
I mean, that's a complete change, but hold on. I'm reading some of these comments. Some of these are really, really good comments. So S-Dub is saying gravy work equals induction service. Yes, it does. And let me tell you something about induction service, guys, and I'm going to be brutally honest.
Go ahead.
I'm going to be brutally honest about the things that I saw while I was working at the dealership. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to tell you the name of the dealership I worked for, but there was a lot of shady stuff going on. And so, for the most part, everything was okay. But like I said, when it came to a lot of the
Man, look at Eric.
I'm
Give me
losing my train of
one
thought,
right
man.
now.
Yeah, I see you guys pulling it out, man. Okay. Yeah. So, when it comes to induction services, man, they sell those things for, I think, usually it's like $150 or something like that for an induction service. And so it's a good paying service. The problem is that like a lot of times the customer comes in for an oil change, right? And so then you do something called like a multi-point inspection. And so you look at the car and you try to make a list of all the stuff that the car might need. You look at the brake fluid, the brake fluid looks dirty, recommend a brake flush. You look at the power steering fluid. Oh, the power steering fluid looks dirty, recommend a power steering flush. And so before you deliver the car to the customer, the service writer, goes up to the customer and they're like, hey, your oil change is done. However, we did find, some other things that we recommend you do. And so they'll try to sell the induction service. They'll try to sell the brake flush and all of that stuff. The problem is that by this point, a lot of times the customer's already been in the waiting room for like half an hour, and so sometimes you get lucky and they agree to buy something, right? Like let's say they buy a brake flush and an induction service, right?
But most of the time, do they need it?
That's debatable. But the problem is that where I worked, a lot of the management was pushing you to do things
To upsell?
Sell.
No. They were pushing you to do it fast because a lot of times the customers would get impatient. Like if you're actually doing a full brake flush, first of all, you got to suck out what's in the reservoir, right? And then you got to fill it back up, and then you got to put the machine on it. Then you got to raise the car up in the air. Then you got to go to each wheel. You got to hook up the hoses. You got to pull a vacuum on the whole system. It takes time. Then you're going to do an induction service. Oh, you got to find the fuel pump fuse to remove it, disconnect the fuel line, hook up the apparatus, run the machine. And so what would happen every now and then is that if a customer gets impatient, waiting on their vehicle to get serviced, they would tell you to basically like not do it, or what they would do instead of like actually doing a full brake flush. And I saw this all the time, is the guys would literally just suck out the fluid that was in the reservoir.
I've seen that before.
And pour new fluid in it, put the cap back on and be done with it. Because that's all the customer is going to see is the fluid that's in the reservoir. They're not seeing the fluid throughout the system.
Exactly.
Holy smokes. That's why I recognize you from that. You're on their YouTube channel How to catch a mechanic.
how to catch a mechanic.
That was Eric
Dude,
on there.
that stuff really happens. man.
MSNBC Dateline.
Yeah, I've seen that before, and that was crazy. They put cameras everywhere, man, and they're
And
just.
you know what? They need to do that.
That was
because
that quick loop
that
place.
stuff happens.
Yeah.
That stuff happens in this industry, man. And
Yeah.
I saw it firsthand, where they were selling induction services, and they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what they would do? They would pop the hood open, and then hang the thing up there like they were actually doing it,
and be on
Yeah.
their phone.
and they'd be on their phone, or they'd wipe down the beauty cover to make it look nice and clean. And then I can't tell you how many guys had those bottles of the fuel injection cleaner sitting at the bottom of their toolbox.
I think
Because
it's
you
just,
know what? Like they wouldn't use it; they would just keep it and put it in their.
in my
toolbox.
opinion, I think it's just what dealership is being done.
and
at,
that's
you know
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It depends on where you go.
yeah
you know?
exactly where you
You
go.
know, so I'm not saying this is everywhere.
Well,
but
some places have strict standards, man. They want to make sure, hey, we're doing this right.
Yeah, everything's by the book.
Yeah, everything's by the book, man. But
Yeah.
some of them, they just want to get that money, and but that's the thing.
you
gotta
know,
understand-
because it's like in the management's perspective, they were like, they'd rather have the customer not be upset because they're waiting so long. You know what I'm saying? And if the customer's not going to know any better, they'd rather just have us rush through it and then get the customer back on the road. And the customer's happy. He doesn't know any better, or she doesn't know any better. They get paid, and everybody moves on.
Well,
I-
they're
So I never work at the dealership. Do the service advisor makes more money than the tech?
That's the other problem, is that it's it's almost like a caste system. You know, like it's crazy that the technicians are at the very bottom of the totem pole here, and service writers, they don't have to buy any tools. The only thing they have to bring to work is a pen, and these guys are making twice as much as what the technicians are making a lot of times. I know guys that were making over $100,000.
because they're making the sales,
Service
right?
advisor?
But
Yeah.
because
Let me give you an example. Because I worked at Nissan, and when we had a GTR come in, because GTRs had a lot of issues with transmissions.
It's a specific tech that only could work on GTR.
Yeah, so you had to get the GTR certification,
Mm-hmm.
and so, but the problem is so the service writer gets a commission from the total amount of the ticket, right? So the transmission was like $17,000. The labor, if you looked it up, I think it was like 9 hours, but the warranty only paid you 7 hours. And so this was so lopsided because the technician, the only thing that he makes is his 7 hours that the warranty pays him. However, the service writer, that ticket, when he closes it, it's like $32,000 because, or something like that, because with the transmission, with the fluid and everything and the labor, like it's a big ticket. And so he gets a commission off of the total amount. Because the transmission was so expensive, like they were making out ahead of the technician, and the technician only gets, the labor. And like I said, when it's warranty labor, it doesn't pay as much as regular book time. So there was a lot of like I said, just like the equality wasn't there,
Man, it's so hard. It's like, if you have a choice, is it the money you want? Do you want to make more money, or do you like what you do and you don't care? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like being an advisor. Yeah, you do make more money and you don't work as hard.
Well, that's why I'll tell you, man, a lot of the technicians, like the really good ones that I worked with, because first of all, the turnover rate at the dealer is crazy. Like when I say like employees don't stay there very long. They'll work, when I worked there, a lot of these guys would work there a couple of years and they would leave.
You're
so,
talking
like,
just about techs, right?
actually it's everyone. Actually before I left, they had fired the old service manager and they hired a new one, and that guy came in and fired a bunch of people who had been there for a long time. And so he was trying to restructure everything, and he basically said, what do you do? And she's like, oh, okay, well, I bring the invoices from here to there. Oh, okay, we don't need you. So you're fired. the technician's gonna take the invoice up there. You know what I'm saying? And so like it's crazy like how the turnover is at the dealership. But like I said, a lot of good technicians left the dealership and they left the industry altogether, man. I know guys that went into the oil field, guys that went into like electrical, like commercial electrical.
Wow.
And so, they love automotive, but they can't make the money that they want.
Is there one thing that you do miss working at the dealership? Or is there nothing?
The free donuts on Saturdays.
Man, dude, no, don't even get me started with
Hold
that.
on, they do provide
Don't
you.
even get me
They
started with
provide
that.
you
Oh
lunch
my
on
God,
Saturday.
man.
The dealership.
The
provide
reason they
lunch.
provide you lunch on Saturday is so you don't take a lunch.
Oh, really?
They don't give you no break at all.
No, they don't want you to take a lunch. That's why they buy lunch, and so they'll buy pizza or they'll buy Chick-fil-A or whatever.
Is that like the busiest day because no one's
It's
working?
the busiest day, yeah.
Yeah, no one's working that day, so they're bringing their car on Saturday,
Yeah, it's
and
the
they want
busiest
it in
day.
and out. Bam, let's get it going.
Yeah, and
Hey,
don't get me started about the other shady stuff involving warranty fraud that I don't want to talk about.
I was
Okay,
gonna
let's
ask, hey, where'd you go to school at? What
Where'd I go to school?
For automotive? Where'd you take classes?
I didn't go to school.
Oh, okay. I was bringing that up because like I went to San
San
Jac.
Jac.
I went to San Jac College, and they were pushing the students there to go to
Yeah.
the dealership.
Well, the funny thing is that when I worked at Nissan, man, we had a lot of young techs that were fresh out of tech school. The UTI,
yeah.
a lot of them came out of UTI, and man, some of these guys were like $30,000 in debt.
I know that.
I
and-
hired 4 of them.
And they couldn't diagnose electrical for the life of them.
Because they don't. So
no.
So when I was at my when I was at my community college, basically they show you the basics, and that's pretty much it, man. And then like if you want to advance yourself,
Houston.
if you want to advance yourself in the automotive industry, you have to take those additional classes afterwards. You have to go to Vision or watch your YouTube channels with Scanner Dan or that kind of stuff, because we didn't learn how to use a scope. Like that's not something that they show there. They don't show you all this advanced level stuff.
And that's why I say, like, when it comes down to it, a lot of it is you have to be self-motivated to
Yeah.
learn.
I
more
want to save
about
this person
automotive.
here who asked this question, Ryan. Ryan, what do you think about UTI Houston? My opinion, and this is just my opinion, don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. If you want basic knowledge, start an independent shop that will take you in. Start from there, changing oil, and then work your way up
Be an
as
apprentice.
an apprentice, as a mechanic assistant, and you'll learn so much more than going to UTI. I promise you.
You
What
know,
do you guys think?
I second that, to be honest, because and it's hard because not everybody can find an
I hope I don't get
apprenticeship.
in trouble.
You know, look, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, look, maybe it's not for everyone. You know, I'm not gonna say don't do it. Okay.
Yeah, don't. Yeah.
But what I will say is that if you can get into a shop and they can hire you on as an apprentice, where they basically pay you dirt.
And you're gonna be doing a lot of
Yeah.
the
You're gonna be
you know,
doing a lot of
crap
grease
job.
work.
Yeah.
You're gonna be
No,
doing a lot of
as of
grease
right
work.
now, I don't think you'll get paid dirt. People need work. They need employees.
Yeah, they need employees,
We're
you know.
lacking employees.
And if you're willing to learn, man, just being in a shop, you can learn so much. And if you're self motivated, you know, there's a lot of books, material out there, videos, stuff that you can learn, to kind of further your education in it. I'm not saying tech
the
school is a
same way.
bad idea. I will say though, if you are going to do a tech school like Oz, I would recommend doing a community college versus
Oh, that was cheap.
A UTI.
versus a
commercial.
college like UTI.
Yeah.
Community
Because a lot
college.
of these guys are like, for-profit technical colleges that, they are charging these guys. They're charging students like a lot of money, and like I said, I couldn't believe it when I was seeing these kids. I was working with them at the dealership, and I'm like, man, these guys don't know what they're doing.
Honestly,
well-
I think honestly, I learned more working at a regular independent shop than I would at a dealership that goes by the books.
I mean, yeah. Well, you're exposed to a lot
Yeah,
more.
you're exposed to a lot
that's
more.
the difference, because although I knew a lot of good technicians at Nissan, a lot of the older guys, it's funny that if you brought them a Ford, they wouldn't know what to do with it. Even though these guys were awesome technicians, when it came to Nissan, that's all they knew. If you brought them something else, they wouldn't even know where to start.
Someone brought up YouTube University. You have to
There
kind
you
of
go, right here.
Well, no, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
You gotta be careful
You gotta
because
be
you
careful.
can't trust
on,
everything that's out there.
You gotta
you
be
know?
careful on what you watch out there.
I think I know who you're talking about, but don't.
We're not gonna bring up any, but you gotta just be careful on what you watch out there because you might get some crazy information. But
I'm gonna tell you one. I watch Oz Mechanic.
No, I'll tell you
Look,
this.
all
man.
I gotta say is don't put acetone in your gas tank. Okay?
But I'll tell you this, man. Watching Paul Danner, Scanner Danner, he's actually helped out a lot of techs that came out of school, and he opened up a lot of doors. And I'll tell you that he was one of the ones that really got me where I'm at right now. And I want to thank him for that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other
What's his name,
techs,
Paul?
Paul Danner. Everyone.
Big shout out to Paul Danner.
From Scanner Danner.
Scanner Danner.
So yeah, he was as soon as I got out of school.
You know who I watch?
Yeah.
I watch Oz Mechanic.
Thank you.
Hey, I watch. I watch you. I watch.
Look who
Who else? Eric the car. I watch Eric the car guy.
Mm-hmm.
I watch Humble Mechanic. Humble Mechanic.
Yeah, Humble Mechanic.
Yeah,
Charles.
Charles. Yep. Who else I watch?
Engineering Explained. He's really cool.
Engineering
Why is everyone
Explained.
saying that name?
Scotty
if you
Kilmer.
say it 3 times, he's gonna come out, dude.
He's
Who?
gonna show up.
Yeah, he's gonna show up if
Who?
you say the name 3 times.
No, he's not in Houston anymore.
Yeah, he's not in Houston, but
Are you talking about Scotty Kilmer?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus!
Hey,
all right.
don't say the name.
It's already done.
We're not.
Yo, man.
We're
Hey,
not- we're not
I'll
bringing
tell
that
you
up
this, man. The guy's a smart man, dude. He's a smart guy.
Well, because he
in
knows
the
he
business
knows
sense.
he knows his demographic. Okay.
Well, you gotta understand.
To me, I'm not gonna knock him.
Yeah, most
I'm
of
not
the
gonna
people,
knock 'em.
most of the people
Yeah.
out there, when they don't know the technical side of automotive, they want to hear the easy side.
Exactly.
There's times that people bring their car over and why are you doing? Why are you bringing the oscilloscope? Why are you doing this and that? Why are you going all out? Oh well, this guy he showed it in like 3 minutes to do it. They want to hear that kind of stuff.
Well, not only that, I think there's also the aspect of people love to hate on automotive brands, and they love it when they can get that affirmation from someone else telling them that brand sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so again, we're not mentioning the name, but if you watch the channel, there's a lot of basically bad mouthing every company out there other than Toyota. And so I think that's another thing is that people love to hear, that all of these companies are trash and that.
To me, I think, man, you find what you like and you stick with it. That sometimes is true because, dude, I used to knock on Ford until I own a Ford and I love a Ford. BMW, major, massive oil leak everywhere. But I love BMW, you know what I mean? And I never had an issue with an oil leak.
So you love abuse? You love.
I love BMW.
Wait, do you own a BMW?
I do.
Okay.
You didn't see it outside?
Ask him.
Yeah.
That's all I'll drive, right?
So are you like the sadomasochist? Like
No.
You
I just
like
everybody
being
has
abused?
issue with him, but I feel like I never had bad luck with him. Toyota, great car. Never. The only issue that I do have with a vehicle manufacturing is Dodge.
Okay, I think everyone can agree on that though.
I think
When it comes
every
to
mechanic,
Dodge,
every
Chrysler.
hates every vehicle.
I
would
don't.
say.
The only one thing is just Dodge.
No, I don't. I'm not gonna say I hate every vehicle.
Well,
I don't.
I'm not gonna choose like my favorite. Well, my favorite is Toyota. That's why I bought a Toyota
Yeah,
Tacoma.
I'll
But
tell
you got hit.
But I bought that Tacoma for one reason, and that was for investment. I knew that I was gonna make money back if I would ever sell it. I'm looking at the investment side. Plus, it's a sexy truck. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
Yeah, and so like that's what I'm saying. Like
Hey,
I
that new
don't
Tundra is
hate
sexy as
automotive
hell.
brands. Like I've told you before, I'm a Ford guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
but
like,
but that's he's a Ford guy because he likes rebuilding the timing chains every single time. But that's
okay, so they make a few bad apples.
Okay.
They do, and I will admit that. I mean, everyone
Not just
knows.
a few, not
everyone
just a
knows
few
when it comes
bad
to
apples.
Ford.
It's like a few bad trees, you know. So
No, when it comes to Ford, no, look, when it comes to Ford, everyone knows stay away from the 5.4 3-valve engines.
No,
Okay.
I honestly, let me piggyback on that. After you do the timing chain, that engine is bulletproof.
That's why I always say, look, the '08 F-250 that I had, 2-valve, 4.6 2-valve is a bulletproof engine.
Yes.
Okay.
Because, you know, when it comes to the difference between the 3-valve and the 2-valve is that the 3-valve has the cam phasers, you know, the VVT solenoids, all that crazy stuff. The 4.6, the 2-valve, doesn't have any of that.
Oh, and the spark plugs are beautiful spark plugs to take off too.
No, that's
Not
the 5.4.
when you upgrade the 3-valve
5.4.
spark plug, they're the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and then once you upgrade them, you know what, dude? And with the Lyle tool, bro, I used to love breaking those because you know what? I could charge.
You are sick, dude.
No, I could charge for each of them I had to extract. You know,
It's true.
'cause that's what I would tell the customers. Like, hey, look, it's going to be this much to do your spark plugs. However, some of them may break when I go to remove
But
them.
I'm gonna tell you something about the
So-
3-valve. Hey, there's a way to not break them. If you watch his video,
Yeah,
there's
like-
there's a technique, right?
Yeah.
There's a
You
technique on
you,
that.
you don't have to
I've done
worry
it a bunch of
about
times,
or
yeah.
being scared about removing the spark plug.
And that's only if they've never been changed. Because once they've been changed,
Yes.
they've been replaced with the one-piece design.
Yeah.
And so
Even if they haven't been changed, don't be scared to remove them if you feel confident
yeah,
by going to YouTube University and watching these guys' video.
But no, the
Seriously.
thing is trying to explain to the customer, hey, we're charging X amount to replace these spark plugs.
well, no. But see, the thing is that it's pretty universal in this industry. Any shop that you go to, if you ask them for a price to do the spark plugs on a 5.4, $500.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Like right off the bat.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
explain it like that at all.
Okay.
I would explain it like this.
But that's what I'm saying from experience is that when
Yeah.
customers have come to me, it's because they've already gotten quotes everywhere else, and they're like, "Oh shit!" They're telling me it's like $500.
See, to me, we all own a shop, and I would say this to a customer: I'm not a service advisor. If the spark plug don't break, I would charge you what I would
X
charge you.
amount.
Yeah.
In each additional
But if
one.
it does break, this is what I would charge you. I wouldn't say, you know what, we're gonna just charge you this, okay? That's just not
Yeah.
fair.
And that's how I would do it. You know, I'm like, okay, so I just go by the labor time. This is how much it's going to be. But some of them might break. You know, if you're lucky, I'll only break one, and then I'll only charge you for the extracting the one.
But okay,
So-
the main question is, I kind of want to ask someone who's not a mechanic. Like, let's just ask a person who just walks in. I actually have my father-in-law right here, right next to us. He has a microphone. How would you take it if you took your car? You have your microphone right there, Elliot. You can pick it up. How would you take it if you had a Ford 5.4 and you come in and then we tell you, hey, right off the bat, we're gonna charge you $500 for to replace your spark plugs? How would you take it as a person who doesn't work on those vehicles?
Can we show a video of a picture of Elliot?
Just the way, just the way I handle it. I try to talk to a few people, do a little research myself, and see what kind of issues are out there. If there's something that I think I can probably handle, or I might try it myself. But
He's a DIY
something
kind of
like
guy.
something like that, you're probably going to have special tools and knowledge
Yeah.
that you just don't have in your garage as an everyday person. So, you shop around and try to, be comfortable with a mechanic, and that's what I try to do. I shop around for mechanics, and once you feel comfortable, then hey, you might have to pay a little bit more, but your mechanic's going to take care of you. Then that's the person that you trust and you go to.
And the funny thing is, I brought that up to you because, so my shop where I'm at right now, we're in the residential area. So, the neighbor right in front of me, he has a 5.4, and he asked me how much would you charge, and I gave him the price, and he was like, dude, that's a little bit steep. So I said, look, man, if you want to, I'm working on some other vehicles. I'll tell you what to do, and just give it a shot. Guess how long he was out there for?
3
long
days.
time.
He was out there for 7 hours, dude.
Well, I will say this. I know from experience that most of the customers that have already tried to do work on their cars know that it's a pain in the ass, and they're willing to pay you
Oh, at that point, he
Because-
was willing to pay.
because they know.
If a customer touched their own car and he couldn't figure out, and there's a shitload of wires or stuff, I would say, I'm sorry, but I refuse to work in your car. I would turn
And
it
in
away.
some, and for some shops, it in the end, it's going to be better to just stay away from it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I will. Let me say this other thing though. I feel like with people, like customers, they eventually basically, like, if they have a vehicle like a 5.4 liter, the 3 valve and
Why are
issue
we
with
still
spark
talking
plug-
about the 5.4?
No, because
Seriously.
this translates into the BMW.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Is that a person who owns a car and they know that their car has a lot of these issues where what, it's going to cost $500 to change my spark plug. Well, look at the BMW owner. You know what I'm saying? When it comes time to do his valve cover, and the whole valve cover costs $800, or the alternator.
And it's a it's a third owner.
Yeah, or an alternator for the BMW. And the guy's like, what? The alternator for my van only cost me $300 to change. You're telling me you're going to charge me $800 to change my alternator in my BMW? Well, yeah. I think that people, eventually get accustomed to their vehicle being high maintenance. You know what I'm saying? And so either they keep it or they get rid of it. And sometimes getting rid of your car, it ends up being more of a headache than just hanging on to it. Because what people are afraid of is selling their car and buying something else that has additional problems as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So going back to let's piggyback off that, like it costs too much to repair a vehicle, right? What about if a customer saying, "What if I buy my own parts?"
Hold up. That's actually going to be another discussion. We're gonna do it on a different podcast.
Well, I mean,
that's going to be.
I
Can we
think
talk about it right now?
But no.
We're gonna do it in a different pod. We're gonna.
Yeah,
do it,
but it's pretty universally known across this industry that if you bring in your own parts, there's no warranty. We'll do the labor, but we won't warranty any of it.
Well, we're gonna talk about that later on. It's gonna be another topic
So,
because
but I'm pretty sure.
Hey, I
every
thought it
shop
was
agrees.
the Eric show.
it is. But I'm just saying, I have.
I'm just saying. I'm
we
pretty
have
sure
so-
that every
yeah.
shop agrees with that.
We have so much to talk about this, and that we're gonna do a different one.
What is that?
The
can't we do
customer
it?
brought parts.
Well, no, when are we gonna do it?
Right after this one, I'm thinking I want to do a live one on my channel, but we might just record, so I'm not sure. Depending if we have 147 viewers right here, if they want to go back to my channel, we're gonna do a different one, and we're gonna talk about customer brought parts and and as well. So the topics are gonna be customer brought their parts, customer got diagnosed at another shop, customer got diagnosed at AutoZone. What do you do? Like,
Okay, that's fine.
If more people say do it live, we'll do it live. We'll go to my channel and do it live. But yeah, it's a conversation that I really want to talk about.
How much time do we have left on this?
We have about 8 minutes left.
Okay.
So we need to take some time to answer some questions.
Yeah,
so.
I do want to answer some questions.
Hey, you work at a dealership. Is it true what Peel said? Dealership prices are the same as other shops. Price are so compromised days.
I would say yes, because I feel like I had this discussion with Oz, and he's telling me that he's raised his rates. And so I think that in order to be competitive in the market, like you no longer can be the cheapest guy on the block.
No, you can't.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything's increasing, just like gas.
Everything's going up. And so, if you look at what your labor rate is, and then you look at what the dealership labor, because, and to be honest, I haven't looked at dealership rates in a long time since I worked there. And it depends on the manufacturer. Yeah, it depends on the manufacturer. Because if you go to BMW, the labor rate's different than going to Nissan. Nissan, they might be like $140 an hour, 150, 160, for some of these. But if you go to BMW, I'm sure it's like $200 an hour.
Okay. Which question you want to take? Hey, help him out, you guys. My father, Ford Explorer 2006, 164,000 miles. has a P0743.
I would have to look up that code.
Isn't that like a transmission code or something?
Can you look up that code?
All you have to do is duct tape it.
No,
There was a question from.
yeah.
Can you scroll that back up a
There's
little
one
bit?
with the P0171.
Okay, let me answer this real quick. Don Guillermo de Norte, do you prefer pneumatic impact gun or battery?
Battery.
I'm
If
a
you're on a
battery.
budget. Okay,
Battery.
let me tell you.
Oh, damn, this guy's going pneumatic. You carry a compressor
No,
with
no,
you.
no, man, come on, dude.
This guy's here. He's like this with a compressor.
No, he likes his DeWalt, right?
Yeah, so I have the DeWalt. Okay.
Okay, battery.
But I bought
You
that.
can go back down, Dick.
Yeah, I bought that one because that's what the Mac Tools truck had at the time.
Oh, I don't like
but-
Mac tools.
Yeah, so I bought mine off of Mac Tools, but I will say that I've had it now. I bought that back in early 2018, and I still use and abuse
Impact?
that thing. Yeah, so I bought like a set. It came with the
Half
drill,
inch?
the half-inch, and the 3/8 drive. But the half-inch one is the monster one with the 1200 breakaway torque. You know,
Well, how long ago?
it's like early 2018. So
And then you never warranty it?
actually, I warranted it one time right after I bought it. Like when I bought it, the first week that I had it, it stopped working, and so I took it back to the Mac guy. You know, he came back to the shop, and I was like, "Hey, it's not working," and he was like, "Oh, let me send it off, you know, to get it, you know, repaired or whatever." I was like, "Dude, I just bought it." I was like, "Give me the other one that you have on the truck." He's like, "Man, I can't do that." He's like, "I got to send it off to get it repaired." I was like, "No," I was like, "You got to give me what you have now."
I remember back in the days, the tool guys would actually do that. Say, okay, here, take this one. I'll send this one off.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
I had to basically like, you know, because I had bought a lot of stuff from that guy. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, you know, get him to give me the other one that he had
Yeah.
on the truck. You know, in exchange for that. I wasn't gonna wait another 2 weeks
Exactly.
to get the brand new one that I had just bought repaired. But yeah, so I got the other one, and that one has lasted me ever since. I've never had any issues with it, and it's still, you know, knocking on wood.
What about you?
But
What brand?
Milwaukee.
Okay.
Milwaukee.
and Milwaukee's great. You know, I would have bought a Milwaukee. It's just that that's what they had on the truck.
I had
at the time.
Ingersoll. I had Milwaukee. I had Makita. My favorite is an Ingersoll.
Ingersoll.
Yep.
You know what I like? I like going to tire shops and these sons of guns. They're just like,
Yeah, but you know, but
They
I
never,
don't know,
like,
like,
torque
dude,
anything.
I still,
I'll get
you know,
this.
with the price of an electric impact, because now, dude, you can even go to Harbor Freight, and the earthquake one they have,
Yeah.
is a pretty damn good tool.
You don't
Yeah,
have
for
to
the
trip
price.
on hoses. Just don't have to trip on
But I
hoses.
still drive by tire shops, and these dudes are still hooking up the hose.
Yeah,
using a
battery all
pneumatic
day,
one,
every
yeah.
day. Get with the times. We got to live in metaverse.
Basically,
It's
the only
going
thing
there.
that we use that I would use the compressor in the shop for is
Is
to
air.
blow air
That's exactly what I do.
to clean something off.
That's it.
we have a serious question right here. Is the dude in the back rocking the mullet?
Yes, he is.
Dick, you have a mullet.
Yes, he is.
He said no.
Did somebody
He
really
said-
ask
yeah,
that?
he did say that.
Yes, he is.
That was a serious question right there.
Milwaukee is proven. Check out torque test. No, Milwaukee's a great gun. I'm not
Hey,
gonna. I'm not gonna knock
We
it.
gotta do something before we close off right here.
The wheel.
Dick, I want the wheel. All right. Can we have the other screen where it shows the people? I want. Okay, I want the comments up there. Whoo, this is gonna be fun.
How much time do we have?
Well, you at least explain to the audience what we're doing here. The wheel.
Oh, the wheel. Well, I'm just waiting for the comments right here. All right, cool. So right now we have a wheel, and on this wheel right here we have this beautiful hot sauce, which
Help with my Honda Civic 2000
So look,
hybrid.
I got this hot sauce right here. Then we have some peanut butter, and then we have some ceviche with hot sauce, and then some ceviche itself. So right now, I need y'all to choose a person. So I want you to put a name out there: San, Eric, or Oz. Who wants to go first? And then the first name that we see up there, or let's do a poll, you know. And the first name that we see up there, they're gonna do the first wheel. I would say choose Eric because this is his channel, but yeah, it is what it is.
Do what you
So,
want.
what we want to do right there, we just want to verify who's going to do the first one. So if y'all can please vote out there. We have a little poll right there. And it looks like Eric is winning. Oh, Son is right behind there.
Yo, you better Oz.
What? No,
let me make a disclaimer. This was not my idea.
It was.
You can't just type a name. Go ahead and vote. Oh, Eric, there you
okay,
go. Let's go, Eric.
All right, so we just want to see, and I just want to end the poll in a little bit. So keep on. Come on, let's get some
Let's
more
do
votes
it.
out there.
They
Come
want
on.
to see Eric.
Yeah, dude, this is Eric's channel. Like, it makes a lot of sense.
They love you, Eric.
Yeah, they love you here.
Hey,
man.
I just
They
want to
want
say
it.
I appreciate you guys because I'm not trying to eat this stuff.
Yeah, because right here, like I said, hot sauce.
But the ceviche is good.
Hey, mouthful
It's
of
good
peanut
as
butter.
hell.
Hey, he might get the ceviche, man, and he loves ceviche.
Wait, hold on. What hot sauce is this?
Dude, this is Hellfire hot sauce. Some really good hot sauce. So Eric, you can't defend yourself right now.
Oh, it's over already.
It's over.
You're gonna have me-
72%.
There you go.
Okay, you know what?
Let's just give it to Eric.
Dude.
Done.
So, hey, spin that wheel. Here it goes.
Man, is this hot sauce even like? Is this that like practical joke type of stuff? Like,
No,
it's not
it's
even.
not.
You
It's
might-
really good hot sauce.
You actually might be taking a shit on the way home.
Man, because I don't want to
Here
be.
it goes. No,
I'm
it's
not
okay,
trying to
Eric.
be up all
Eric,
night,
you
man.
gotta do it. Come on, we took all this
I'm
other
not
stuff
trying to
out.
be up all night.
It's all good. Here it goes. So you got
Oh, ceviche.
Ceviche. Hey, I'm down for some
dude,
ceviche.
You know.
Bro.
Wait, hold on. Where did this come from?
That's
Oh,
mine. I made
Son
it.
made it.
You made this?
Tuna, shrimp, cilantro. Yes.
All right.
Okay, so tell me a little
Hey,
bit about.
Put the next one. Oz or Son, and they'll do the next
Oh,
one.
I thought it
here.
was only one.
No, we'll do another one. Just
Why
Oz
That
or
doesn't
Son.
make any sense. You just
No.
go
Yeah, I
in
know.
order.
Exactly. It doesn't
Let's
make
go in
any
order.
sense. But
Okay.
just do one.
But I want to tell you. I want you to tell me how you made this. So
All right, so
I know ceviche is.
I marinated. I left it in lime and lemon juice. Marinated for about 3 hours. It cooked it. Tuna is fully cooked with the juice. Cilantro. I wish I had serrano pepper because serrano pepper is a lot hotter than jalapeno. I got all the good stuff in there. Black
So
pepper.
ceviche
salt.
is technically is not cooked, right? Like
It's not cooked. It was all raw.
It was all raw.
But the lime juice.
But
cooked
the
it
lime
up.
juice basically.
Exactly.
And
the
Eric
acid of
likes
the lime
it
juice.
raw.
That's why we got them.
Huh?
I tried to make a serious face, and I was like,
Okay.
Eric likes
Okay.
it raw.
That bowl's been under the desk for 6 months. Hey man,
Hey.
probably.
The tostada right there.
Oh, yeah, you got-
Get it.
Oh, you got some tostadas?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, we hooked you up, man.
Oh,
Hey.
get the hot sauce too.
Oh, yeah, look, we got some.
Sponsored by
Yeah.
La Banderita.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh man, what you got
Hey,
over
man,
here?
but if y'all really want to
That's
join,
what I eat the
La
if y'all,
botanera?
ceviche with.
if y'all really want to join in, like I said, we're gonna have a live script. We're just gonna do a live feed on my channel right after this.
It's too late already. I'm
Yeah.
not doing it.
Yeah. Hey, the song they want the people want it. Put the wheel on there. Come on,
No.
Nick. Put the wheel.
I'm not doing it.
Just son.
No.
Just do it, man. Come on. Here, the people were asking. They want it. Son.
No, I'm not
Come
doing
on.
it.
Son.
Yo, I'm not.
Just try, dude.
Well, I thought everyone was spinning.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it too. Go. Come on, Dick. Let's get this going. Spin the wheel.
Ceviche.
Dude, there better be the freaking
Ceviche.
peanut butter all in your mouth.
Ceviche.
Hey, oh.
Oh, see, that's messed up. Wait, what's that?
Yeah, that's on. Give me some.
That's
Give me some. Right there.
right, here. Let him grab it.
But he likes the hot sauce.
I love the hot sauce.
Yeah.
Sure.
But here,
Well,
I'm
you can
gonna-
eat it with the ceviche.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Here.
Uh-huh.
So
I
you
get to
can
put the hot sauce.
Listen to the
I
crispiness.
don't care.
Yeah.
Can I eat ceviche with it?
Yeah, you can.
Hell yeah. That's ceviche. But get the spoon. Don't eat it like that. Come
I
on.
put the spoon
You know what
there.
I'm talking about?
Here.
Yeah. Look.
I'm Mexican, bro.
Hey,
Bro,
but,
look.
but like I said, by the
Damn.
way, we're gonna go to my channel right after this, and we're gonna keep on talking, man. We're gonna have a
Yo.
different conversation, which is gonna be
This ceviche
awesome, dude. It's
It's
gonna be
made
real
by
awesome.
a Cambodian guy.
Yeah, and I want to talk a little bit more about our different businesses. Like I said, Eric, right now he's mobile tech and YouTuber. I have my own shop, and I'm kind of part-time
about to,
YouTuber.
Hold on. Shh.
Oh.
You got hot sauce on it? Let me know your
yeah,
honest
I put some
opinion, please. Put some hot sauce in it because VJ is not good with no hot sauce.
And then here. Oh, show the people. You gotta put more hot sauce.
Bro, that's a lot.
All right.
Dude, that's a lot.
All right, there you
Okay.
go. And we got Son right here, dude. This guy, honest to God, man, I really admire him a lot. To be quite honest, man, because he has.
I'm about to go on.
He started
That bite.
started
Let me hear
off
that crisp.
with the donut
Fine.
shop, and then after that he opened up an automotive shop, and then from there he went to he's good.
You tell me. Tell me.
And some good stuff.
I was a
dude.
Cambodian ceviche.
He opened up a food truck, and
I
then
can take it home, right?
You can take it home.
another
Is that good?
food location and another food truck. He's kicking butt, dude.
Hey, tell me what fish is in this?
Tuna.
Tuna.
Atuna?
Ooh,
That's
that's
a hot
good.
sauce.
Is that shrimp too or what?
That's shrimp.
Dick, get me on the wheel. Come on. I'm next.
I'm taking this home.
I'm getting ready. I'm calling the peanut butter already, all right?
Nah, hold on. You gotta spin the wheel, man.
I spin the wheel and it's going to say it, but I'm calling the peanut butter. Son of a...
Hot
Oh, jeez.
Hey,
You had hope.
see, hot sauce and peanut butter.
You did bring that up, and I said, you know what? We're doing that. Hey, quick question. Let's get some yeses if y'all want my father-in-law to do the wheel too. He's right there. He's the one who actually answered a question. So if y'all want him to get into it, just let's put some yeses on there, and you know, I need 10 yeses, 10 yeses, and he'll do it. Okay, we got 3. Okay, look, this is the peanut butter right here, and
I thought you were doing hot sauce.
yeah, I'm doing hot sauce with peanut butter.
All right, that's cool.
Uh,
That sounds disgusting, but go ahead.
hey, man. All right, there you go. And
Yeah.
All right.
BJ's good though, huh?
hey, we already have 10. All right, go ahead, Elliot. You're in it. Let's do it. Jesus Christ, man!
That's some
I
good
wanna do this. You might just get the ceviche yourself.
Pass me the red hot sauce. Eric, you pass me that sauce?
Yeah, no, peanut butter itself.
That one's too hot for right now for the ceviche.
But they want you. They want.
Hey, we got to get a close up of the ceviche right here, man.
Mouthful of peanut butter. Peanut butter. Hey, look at this, dude. If,
You guys
if y'all
see
can
this?
zoom into this.
The ceviche looks
Dick,
good, man.
I want you to show that
I mean, it is good.
peanut butter with hot sauce. This does not.
You can't see it. You can't
I
see
think he's zooming in.
Camera?
I know Eric is all enjoying himself while we're
Oh, yeah, I'm
freaking-
good, man.
While we got this nastiness.
I'm good.
Ooh, this is nasty.
All right, how much time do we have left?
We're gonna move over to my channel. So please join us right now, man. We're gonna go. So Oz Mechanics, Dick, can you put it on there? Oz Mechanics, whatever. And we're gonna go into that, and we're gonna have another conversation. That's gonna be pretty fun. Oh, Jesus.
Zoom in on his face.
Don't knock it till you try it. I'm not knocking it, dude. Jesus, it's just does not look good.
Okay. So S-Dub is asking, where can we hit up this food truck?
Conroe, Texas.
All right, so if any of you guys are in the area, but you gotta give us more detail.
Oh man.
Man, this video's too good.
He's got a mouthful right now.
So,
Dude, this is
the food truck is called Taste the Asian. Check us out on Facebook, Taste the Asian Food Truck. Also on Instagram. We also have we just actually opened up a brick and mortar. It's called Dragon Bowl C. Anime theme off
And
of
that's
Dragon
out
Ball
here
Z.
in Conroe too.
That's in downtown Conroe. Check us out on Facebook and social media. It's an Asian fusion. We like to collaborate, infuse our flavor, our Asian flavor with Texas heat and flavor too. And I get inspired by
So it's a fusion.
There's a few.
It's a
I love
combination
ceviche
of
and I
stuff, yeah.
love
So man, not only do you own a shop, you own a food truck, you got a restaurant. What else you got? You got a mouthful. That's what you got.
I do have a mouthful, but no, that's it. I just honestly the one thing I love doing is
Taste the Asian.
Yeah.
taste the Asian.
So let me ask. When you say taste the Asian, are you the Asian?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
No, dude, I remember coming up with that name, sitting downstairs in my living room, just thinking of, man, how can I name this food truck? I needed to make it fun. I needed it to be catchy. You know what I mean?
So did you come up with the Dragon Bowl?
I came up with the dragon. No, I did not come up with the Dragon Ball. I'm not gonna take credit
He
for
watched this show called Dragon Ball. See?
Yeah. I mean, obviously
Oh.
it's a
No, I'm not gonna
spin-off
take
of
credit for
Dragon
that. My wife's cousin, who's another person that I look up to a lot. He's out in he's out in Florida, in Orlando. Big shout out to Kit. Um, we kick ideas at each other all the time. You know what I mean? I love getting with him, just being surrounded by these guys that talk about cars. And I love cars too. Love working on cars. But when you get around people that like, you know, ignite your fire, they give you this drive. And he gave me the drive. He said, "Man, dude, you need to name it this and this and this, right?" I was like, "Are you sure I can name it this?" And I was like, "Are you not gonna name it? Because if you're not gonna name it, I'm gonna name it." So as soon as I got back home to Texas, I'm like, "Fuck it." He gave me permission. I'm gonna fucking run with it, and I ran with it. I ran with the name and the concept and everything.
So what do you serve there?
We serve it's a noodle bar, so we serve pho, ramen, and rice, and also boba tea.
Okay.
Yeah, downtown
That
Conroe.
makes sense. Dragon Bowl.
Yeah,
Right?
Dragon Bowl. So if you go to Facebook and you look at our Tasty Asian logo, it's a dragon. That dragon is our brand. Same thing with the logo and Dragon Bowl. There's the same dragon there.
So you're into food and automotive.
I'm into food and automotive. I'm a foodie, man. I love food. I love Mexican food.
I'm not gonna lie. One of the things that I always had a dream of opening was a mangonada stand. Because-
You told me that.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
I've always had this dream. I had built the concept and I have it all written down. The name, what the mascot was gonna look like. I was planning on doing like a kiosk in a mall type of franchise design.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where basically we were making mangonadas. You know what a mangonada is?
Oh yeah, I had it in Mexico for the first time. I'm like, what the hell is this? This shit is
Yeah,
good.
mangonada's badass. Yeah. And so it was built around that concept, and I was gonna call it Mango Mundo, and then like it was gonna be like the mascot was gonna be a mango, like.
Bro, well, hey, it's never too late. Let's do it.
And Daniel, it's gonna be 1 hour on that channel, so it's gonna be real
But
quick.
yeah.
You should run it
So
with
anyway,
Eric.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in the future, if everything goes good with what I got going on, hopefully I can start investing in other things.
I'm gonna tell you the one thing that right now is that it took us close to a year to open our doors. It is ridiculous.
Now, was this
And-
because of like
No,
COVID or
Nope.
regulations or something or what?
not because of COVID. I don't want to even get into it, but it took us almost a year to open our doors, and we're not even open yet. Yesterday we did a sneak peek, and I'm gonna tell you the things that go through my head. And when I look at the end of the day, I look at my numbers. I'm like, holy shit, I spent this much.
Yeah.
It's
So are
crazy.
you in the beginning right now? Are you losing money?
I'm losing money every
Yeah.
month.
His
I'm lo-
refrigerator, when we're at the bar, his refrigerator went down.
Yeah, my freezer went out.
down.
Oh, your freezer went down.
Yeah, I'm not even open
That's
yet.
why he was over there when he was.
Did you lose a lot of
No,
product or?
no. I was able to take that and transport it to the other location and just freeze it.
Bro, this is the product right here.
Yeah, honestly, I know where I want to go, and I just like, I gotta take that risk, and I was afraid that, man, what if I don't make my money back? What if I fail? What if no one comes into the door? Yesterday, I didn't even announce it. I didn't promote it. I just did it for my neighbor, so they can have food.
So let me ask you a question. Out of the businesses that you have, where would you rank the automotive one?
Right now,
Uh-huh.
and to be honest with everyone, because I'm so busy everywhere now,
Uh-huh.
I would say automotive right now is not so much on my mind because the automotive is established, and the thing that's not established yet, I actually have to care for it, just like a newborn baby.
Yeah.
It deserves all my attention. I have somebody there right now that I trust, that runs it and manage it, and that's all it.
And that's
matters.
funny because I talk to Oz about this all the time. Because see, when I had my shop, like me, it was always set in my mind that, like from when I first started, I was like, I have to hire people. I was like, because it can't be just me. You know what I'm saying? And what I wanted was to eventually, because I had my brother working for me also. And so I was like, I want to get him to the position where I can have him manage this location. You know what I mean? And so that if I'm not here, the business is still running. It's still making money. You know what I'm saying? So it's different when you're a one-man band and you're the dude talking to the customers, calling, doing estimates, calling for parts, ordering parts. You're the one, paying all the bills. You're the one, like basically trying to manage, and then somehow you got to find time to actually work on the cars. You know what I'm saying? And then,
Yep.
like, it just doesn't work because what happens is you end up sacrificing some aspect of the business, or it really just consumes you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then, I always thought about it like this. I was like, man, because you've heard the old cliche, it's owning a job versus owning a business.
Yeah.
If you're by yourself, you own a job,
Yep.
basically, because the business doesn't run without you.
Yep.
Yeah.
As opposed to if you own a business, you got a manager there, you got employees there. You could be on a beach in Mexico,
Hey,
And-
man, that's the plan.
and you're still making money.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's what a lot of people have been telling me because that's what I have.
Yeah.
But you ready to take the conversation to my channel, and let's get
Yeah. So are we done here?
No, we have 108 viewers, and what I want to do is if y'all can all make it to this channel, we're gonna keep on. We're gonna go and we're gonna talk about something interesting, and we're gonna veer off to other stuff. But I think it's gonna be really interesting.
I highly recommend you guys go to his channel because there's a lot that we can cover.
Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of good stuff, man. And we might have another beer run. We don't know how it goes.
Yeah.
But I'm not drunk right now. It takes me a lot to drink.
A little bit. He's red.
I'm just a little bit tipsy. But we're gonna go ahead, move to this channel.
Eric,
And
chug a beer.
I still want them to chug.
Well,
beer.
actually, Chris C has a good question. Do you guys make birria tacos?
No, we don't.
Do we make birria
Well, he's not
tacos?
asking you. He's asking.
Oh,
He's Asian place.
so let me tell you this,
Well,
okay?
you said
if you
Mexican.
want to know, go to his channel, and I'll tell you. Because at his channel, we're gonna go and get into the ins and outs of entrepreneurship, owning a business, or working for your business. You know what I mean? You want to work in your business or work on your business, and we can get into that.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
we're gonna-
Okay, so if you want to get into the business discussion, okay.
We're gonna talk.
There's a lot. There's a lot I can
Oh, there's
talk
a-
about.
Like I said,
Oh,
we're
no,
gonna-
I got a lot.
We're gonna talk about this, but please
Here.
join us real
Hey.
quick in the other channel. We're about to
So
start.
let me tell you
right
this: that ceviche is fucking fire, huh?
That's ceviche's fire, dude. But hey, just go to my channel. We'll see you in a second. So, man, I hope y'all enjoyed this time. Eric, what'd you think? Coming to Conroe right here.
I mean, this was fun. This was kind of out of the blue. This is our first time in the studio. Well, it's my first time in the studio. I think you guys have been here before on Oz's channel, but Oz just hit me up. He's like, "Hey, you want to do a live? There's this place. I mean, this is an hour and a half drive.
Big
for
shout
me
out to Dick, man.
from where I'm at.
Our
But
producer.
Yeah, this guy back here, he runs
With the mullet.
all of this setup, the microphones, the audio, the video, streaming the video. Shout out to him. But yeah, this was awesome, man. I think that we should do more of this. I really wish it wasn't so far.
Yeah.
It was one hell of a drive to get out here, and then I still got to drive back.
I know, but hey, we're gonna have a good time for the next hour, and
Hold on.
I'm looking forward
for
to
you
this.
guys to know that we do live in Texas, okay? And just to get from point A to point B, it's a good hour.
Oh yeah.
Hour, 20 minutes, you know what I mean?
It depends on where you live, though. 'Cause
The link is just right up there. So if you look at Advanced Love Auto, we're gonna be right there. So house call auto repair. The link is right there. But yeah, we have so much to talk about for another hour. So, man, I'm excited.
A big shout out to
All
Lone
right,
Star
guys. So
Community
thank
Radio.
you guys for joining us on this.
and your like how you end your videos.
Yeah. Well.
Go ahead.
How is it?
Okay, you
find
guys ready? We're done.
educational?
We're done
Yeah.
here. Okay. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful, informational, educational. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
That boy
Thanks.
did it badass. I like.